All right, everybody, welcome back to the American Dota League. We have the final match of the night. It is Artyk Gaming up against Typical Mistakes. Typical Mistakes already taking down Pain Brazil in their first match of the night, but we are going to round up the night with these two teams. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Mont. Joining me tonight is none other than Aosin. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. Doing good, and you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Of course, I want to apologize for the earlier microphone issues. I know that was being annoying. It turns out Skype has a feature that changes my mic sound every time I get too loud, and I like being loud, so I just told that setting to go screw itself, and now we should be good to go. So all of my screaming you will hear in full force. That being said, we're going to jump right into the pick ban phase. Artyk, of course, banning out the IO. We see Typical Mistakes going for the Naga Siren and the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet's been picked up a lot recently. Naga Siren, surprise ban there, of course, coming out. Naga Siren being played mid a lot, as well as just a lot more in general. It's like kind of, we're coming full circle back to TI2, where Naga Siren was the big deal. And we're seeing it again, which I really can't comment on whether I like it or not. I have yet to really see it in its full power, I guess. But with that being said, we still have 134 on reserve time here. You'd expect to see a Darkseer or a Lifesteal or something like that. But I like Typical Mistakes' ban of the Naga Siren because they're going to have first pickup here, and they've got a lot of different choices available, like potentially the Bat Rider, which we might see. But those are just my feelings anyways.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this is probably one of the things they probably know Artyk have been doing or something like that. Once again, they probably do play with each other a lot. Oh, they actually don't pick up the Bat Rider. They opt for the Gyrocopter first instead. So let's see how Artyk deals with this. I'm pretty sure one of the sides must be taking Bat Rider. I think Bat Rider is just way too good to pass up as a hero. So we'll see what they take.
It's got to be Bat Rider, I think, on Artyk here. I think it's got to be. Like, I don't think they give that up. Yeah, and they're going to pick it first. And they also have a bunch of other picks they can go for, like a Lifestealer, which usually is banned out, but hasn't been recently. I think Typical Mistakes is okay against playing against that because, of course, the Open Wounds makes it kind of difficult for them to be aggressive in a tri-lane with a Lifestealer. Gyrocopter, despite having that small nerf to his flat cannon, he doesn't really change a whole lot. And then Rubik's going to come out from the side of Artyk here, and that's a good pickup. I don't know if it is warranted right there and necessarily with that pick, but of course it might get banned out in the next two bans for both sides here. So Artyk's going to go and pick up the Rubik. Typical Mistakes, they've got the Gyrocopter. They actually secure the fact that the Lasso cannot be stolen right now, since that's why they got that Rubik. I think partially, at least, is, that's one of the reasons there. Typical Mistakes, they've got plenty of reserve time to really think about what they want to go for. They can pick something up that would work well with a Gyrocopter in a tri-lane, or they can go for that Lone Druid, the tried and true hero that they played with earlier. Cake's just going into the jungle or into the side lane and just gets so much farm. He becomes essentially, like we said before, a raid boss for you WoW players or any, I guess, MMORPG fans out there, but we all know WoW's the good one. Anyways, Typical Mistakes, they've got two heroes here, and Artyk, they're going to go ahead and pick up another ban in just a moment. And that being said, I want to talk a little bit about, of course, the ticket. Please, 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 if you really want to support American Dota, go ahead and purchase up the Dota TV ticket for the American Dota League. Give us a follow on the channel, which is twitch.tv/American Dota League. And, yeah, just support American Dota, guys. It's really important. So, the next few bans will be coming up.
So, Bear, I was going to mention that Bear and Naix still in the pool. It's not too surprising to see one of them taken, I think, definitely still really, really strong heroes. And I think the early Rubik pick is not bad. Like, it's like a really safe hero to pick. Like, it's good in any situation, honestly. And to steal, just seeing the Gyro stealing call down is already really good in itself. And yeah, we'll have to see how they go about this. I'm assuming they'll be
5 seconds.
I'm gonna say that Artyk, from my experience playing with them, they're probably gonna run a Bat Rider as a mid, and they love doing these really, really aggressive roaming style types of plays, and I think they're really good at it too. So we might see something like Alina or Leshrac or something like that, where they can just walk around everywhere and just secure kills all over the place.
And that's what they're going to need to do, especially with these farming heroes on the side of Typical Mistakes. And these are two teams that I've seen a lot of recently, and not even going back to Raid Call EMS 1 Americas, going back even further. I mean, Typical Mistakes has been a part of North American Dota for who knows how long, participating in SEX, participating in multiple other tournaments as well. Artyk, of course, they've been playing in a bunch of other things as well. I casted both of these teams in ATOD, which isn't, I guess, strictly speaking, real Dota, but it's still, you know, a little
5
bit interesting
seconds
there.
remaining.
And I've watched them in a bunch of other tournaments as well, so, you know, familiar with these teams, and Smash plays an excellent mid no matter what he picks up. And we'll see, of course, IWO pick up a great hero to farm with. We call him the Black of the South. That's right. He just farms so well. That's what we've dubbed him. Dragon Knight now picked up for the side of Artyk. Typical Mistakes, they've got another pickup here. And the last few bans that came out, the Queen of Pain and the Next Assassin for Artyk. For Typical Mistakes, it was the Bane and the Treant Protector. And Treant Protector, thankfully not making it into this game if you are not a fan of just slow, long, drawn-out, ridiculous, cannot push this tower kind of lane kind of game. So, I mean, nothing against Treant Protector. I mean, I love playing him in Dota and frustrating the opposing team, but he doesn't provide the most exciting game in the world. And I might be biased here, but and I don't want to flame Treant Protector or the makers of Treant Protector, Ice Frog, forgive me, but Treant Protector sometimes can get on people's nerves, so I can understand that. The Vengeful Spirit pickup from Typical Mistakes, and definitely an interesting pick. They've been going with the Venge before, but there are a bunch of other supports in the pool, so I'm kind of surprised they went with that one.
Yeah, I think it's Venge is a really, really good hero. It might be just having that command aura. Maybe they might be doing something aiming towards
5
the
seconds remaining.
start of the mid game. I'm gonna assume, and by having that command aura, they can really, well, right after talking about having a good early game, I think Artyk is really trying to secure their early game.
Yeah.
That DK pickup and then the Chen pickup now, and the Bat pickup as well. I think Artyk is. I'm gonna take back my earlier statement about having Bat mid. I think what they can do is take something like Jug as the last pick, and they're gonna be in this position where it's gonna be incredibly difficult to kill them. So we're gonna have to see what Typical Mistakes picks up here.
Yeah, because you can send that Dragon Knight mid, and he might have a rough time up until he gets 6, but when he gets 6, that Elder Dragon form, I think, is... A lot of people underestimate it, too. And just the amount of damage and the fact that he's very tanky, I think, early on as well. Of course, with Dragon's Blood, I think a lot of people underestimate how good Dragon Knight can be, and especially when he hits level 11, because that poison damage, that corrosive breath, it stays. That dot, of course, stays over time. And then, of course, the splash damage coming in from the corrosive breath, the red flames, if you will. So, Sir Davion, you're going to get picked up for Artyk as well as the Chen. And like you said, this early pickup here for the side of Artyk is... This early game is looking really strong, especially with the Bat Rider, the Chen, when he gets that Hand of God. But Typical Mistakes is going to go for a jungler, perhaps of their own, with the Enigma. And that's going to give them a quick level 6 for that Black Hole and just kind of shut down anybody with BKB. Try to get the Bat Rider on top of that as well. And... well, the Enigma is also going to be good for pushing. So both teams right now looking to maybe just go for this early pushing strategy. But what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force? I guess we're going to find out, huh?
Oh man, this Enigma pickup. So they really want to see who can out-tower each other, I guess, is the best way to put it. Like, Typical Mistakes has like an incredibly powerful lineup for taking towers here. But so does Artyk at the same time. It's really hard. I think the picks so far are just really, really even, in my opinion.
Might be the most even draft I've seen in a while, just because you've got the stronger heroes. I think right now I give the edge to Artyk just because of that Bat Rider, and I think the utility that Bat Rider has, and you can send him in so many different locations. If you're having a tough time in the off lane, send him to the jungle. Well, then again, Chen, he'll be sharing it with Chen if that's the case, but still at the same time, I mean, Typical Mistakes and Artyk both have good lineups, but I apologize, I didn't mean to cut you off.
10 seconds.
Oh, no problem. I think it's really hard to say. You know, the Bat Rider, like, while he's really powerful, I've seen that really good Venge players, they're always on point with their swaps. So when Bat Rider comes in, like, blinks in on someone, Venge immediately swaps whoever it is, and your lasso is gone already. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it really depends on how they play it out. I think that my guess here is it's really possible for Typical Mistakes to pick up something like a Beastmaster here now. Because if they have a Beastmaster, his aura is going to help the push. Oh, wow. A Necrolite. So
I was not expecting that at all.
So we were talking about how... I mean, I mentioned the Jug, right? Because of the healing ward and stuff like that. But, I mean, in a way, the Necrolite pick is kind of somewhat similar to that idea. You know what I mean?
The Death Pulse, yeah.
Yeah. And I know, like I was mentioning, I think a Beastmaster pickup here for typical mistakes would be actually a very good pickup here. Having the aura is really good for
10 seconds
the bonus attack
remaining.
speed. Wild axes,
5
having
seconds remaining.
having that vision especially is really important. It makes it so that Vengeful Spirit can always save whoever's going to get lassoed and then restart the fight.
And that's what they want right now. They don't want Batrider to control this game. But with the Necrolite pickup, Artyk sitting in an interesting position, a hero that you don't see too often. Death Pulse is going to be coming out. It's going to be giving a lot of healing, of course, to the side of Artyk there. Reaper Scythe can be effective early on in the game when he gets that ultimate first, but we'll have to see. It really depends on what typical mistakes want to pick up here. I agree with you on the Beastmaster pickup. They definitely have that option. They have a lot of other options as well. If they do decide to do that, nope, they're going to go Pugma. And not expecting that either. So, all right. So the pushing strategy is in full effect for both teams, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. I'm quite excited for this kind of lineup because this is a kind of lineup where you're going to see like 50 kills in 5 minutes or something weird like that. So
I'm fine with that.
yeah, I want to see a bloodbath. And I think that's what's going to happen here. So
I too am interested in seeing blood being shed. So we'll have to wait. Artyk, of course, it looks like Smash is their mid player. It looks like they're going to send that DK mid, so I think you were right on the money with Batrider not in that lane. IWO, who generally plays the carry, is going to be on the Necrolite. So this is definitely interesting how they're, of course, going to play this. Meanwhile, typical mistakes, this lineup looks about right. Ryu's probably going to go mid because he is that Pugna. And that Nether Blast, by the way, does a lot of tower damage. I forget what they changed it to. I'm pretty sure it was like 50% or something like that. But we'll, for now, jump into the game. We'll worry about that later. And we're going to get some introductions. So here on the side of Artyk, we've got Mihawk on the Batrider, IWO on the Necrolite, Masoku will be on the Chen. Going to see Misko on the Rubik. Smash will be on the Dragon Knight, and I believe that's it. So that's Artyk there on the Dire side. On the Radiant side, we're going to see I'm a Sheep Sucks on the Enigma. Ryu's going to be up on the Pugna. Sleazel will be on the Vengeful Spirit. Cakes is on the Lone Druid once more, and finally Goody is going to round out the lineup with the Gyrocopter. And they're all going mid right now up to the top lane. Over here to this, of course, little ward spot, the Ancient Stack as well. And they're looking to go uphill into the opposing team jungle. I'm not sure what they're trying to accomplish here, but they have a good level 1 team fight here. They've got the bear. Cakes is slowly using his bear to maybe just try to bait something out here. They're going to find Masoku immediately. They already used the magic missile there. Ryu now trying to chase after him. And I don't think they can get this kill. He's trying to mana up and get another stun here, but Sleazel cannot chase this. There's no one else there. The bear, in the meantime, IWO is just going to pass right by that. And so the 5-man aggression coming out from the side of typical mistakes is a little bit interesting. They get a magic missile, they push back the Chen, and now they are going to go ahead and just ward all of his camps and make sure that he cannot do anything.
yeah, I think this is the right play made by them because normally what people would do is if you ward up their entire camp, they'll just be like, okay, well, I'll walk into your jungle and take your stuff. But he can't exactly do that because there's an Enigma who's going to be there. So I'm curious to see what this Chen is going to be doing. There's like 1 camp remaining, but is that going to be enough? I'm not sure. I mean, we'll have to find out. But so yeah, just see, look. So he's already walking down, but I think this is going to be something typical mistakes is going to end up punishing. They're definitely going to keep an eye on their jungle, and if he does get caught out, it's going to be the end of him.
Well, he does have the haste now, so I mean that will provide him at least a little bit of survivability for the next, like, what, 20 to 30 seconds. So there is that. Up in the top lane, nice pull coming out from the Spirit Bear. I'm not sure where he's going with it. It looks like he wants to bring it back to the tower. Wait, actually, he was just kiting it around, so it's not underneath the tower, so it's a little bit easier to hit. You see Masoku taking some damage. Meanwhile, the Eidolon's going through. It's only level 1 for that Enigma, so he doesn't have Malefice yet. Masoku's still with that haste. It's about to run out. And he's sitting up here on the high ground. There goes the haste. The Centaur Khan as well, of course, has that stun, but they're not going to catch him out. Meanwhile, Misko is actually playing an off-lane Rubik, and Batrider's in the jungle here, and he's not going to be able to get any farm either. So this is looking very poor for Artyk very early on, just because you've got complete jungle control for typical mistakes. You've got, you know, free farm essentially down here in the bottom lane for Goody. Pugna's doing great in the mid lane right now with, of course, the usage of that Nether Blast. In the top lane, Cakes has already pulled the creep wave a few times, so Artyk kind of not playing their own game, a game that we're not used to really seeing. So, you know, they look a little flustered right now. They can, of course, come back from this. Misco is going to get caught out by Sleazel. There's the magic missile. Do they have enough damage? There's the rocket barrage. Misco taking a lot of damage. He might go down for first blood. There's the homing missile. Sleazel wants to take it. He's going to grab it. Sleazel grabs first blood. Nicely done coming out from the side of Typical Mistakes, but I'm not sure what Artyk was expecting there in that dual lane against those heroes.
Yeah, this is looking very, very bad for Artyk right now. They're trying to de-ward, but this ward is really well placed. They can't reach it, and they're trying to sacrifice this. They're trying to sack the off lane so this bat can farm in the jungle, but every camp is blocked. So this is, I don't really know. This is like they have to be really patient now. They have to wait out as long as they can, and then once these wards run out, they're gonna try to catch up in whatever way they can possibly do it.
But we're not talking about, you know, something like a Phantom Assassin just free farming up top or an Alchemist even. Meanwhile, Cakes, Centaurcon almost looking for that stun. Cakes, he's not going to avoid it. He's going to take that damage. Test of Faith, not available. Cakes, he's got a salve. He needs to use it. Trying to get that kill on Misoku, not going to happen. And Chen will grab that kill, surviving just barely, by the way.
That was a really, really good kill by Artyk. Something they really needed to. And I find it quite funny that Misoku, he had to go all the way to the enemy jungle, and he took this one creep with him, and he made all this happen with him. So that's a really good play by Misoku.
And that's just, I mean, making those things happen. Just putting yourself from a good position into a bad position. I mean, they're still in a pretty bad position, even with that kill, but, you know, that's at least going to give them something right now. If you look at the top farmers of the game, though, right now, Ryu's got 21, a lot of that coming through the Nether Blast, and Smash is just taking the brunt of it, and he should be bottle crowing right now. In fact, you can see the bottle heading back to base. Cakes does go down, but he's still leading in front of IWO, and he's the one farming here, and IWO, I'm not sure what he's going to be doing with all of this farm, but now he's just trying to go right on top of Cakes, and now he's taking a lot of damage from this bear, who, by the way, has an Orb of Venom, so IWO has got to be very careful. And Cakes could have potentially went further and gotten that kill, but the salve will go for IWO, and that'll save his life. Shockwave again on Cakes, just trying to be annoying right now. Meanwhile, Misoku is back in base, so is Mihawk. Mihawk is sitting at level 1 still. Misoku at least is at level 3 right now. The Enigma is at level 4, and so looking at the levels, you can see there's just this big discrepancy from the Batrider to the Chen, and then after that, the net worth is still going in favor as well for Typical Mistakes, so they've got at least a little bit of a lead, and that could potentially get, you know, I mean, 2,000 experience at 4 minutes is quite a bit, and gold on top of that. And Goody's continuing to free farm down in the bottom lane. He's got 23 CS right now, taking tower damage. He's got phase boots in the mid lane. Smash, he continues to use his bottle, but Nether Blast continues to be a hassle for him, as Ryu is level 6, by the way. And we'll see if he wants to go for that life drain.
Yep, this is looking really good in Artyk's favor. But, oh, that's a solo kill up top.
He just died, I think, from what is it, no, he doesn't even have Heart Sephora, so he just died from a right click there, interestingly enough. So, yeah, Cake's going down again. That's definitely a good sign for Artyk to try to get back into these games, or this game, excuse me. And a bit of surprise, actually. I mean, the Cakes is usually very, very, very good up in that top lane, but against IWO, IWO has just been punishing him with that Death Pulse, and I think Cakes doesn't realize how much damage he's actually taking and how close to death he is. On top of that, Misoku's creeps have been very effective there. But
yeah. Like, now that you see the wards running out, like, this is Artyk's chance to start catching up. I think you'll start seeing it more, start to balance out now.
Right.
And once this bat hits 6 and once this Chen hits 6, I think you're going to see a big change in pace for Artyk. They're going to start doing a lot of stuff with what they have.
Absolutely. I mean, they do have the Dragon Knight at 6 right now. He actually popped his Dragon form. He was looking for a Dragon Tail on Ryu, not able to get it. So that down in the mid lane, not going to happen. But Goody in the bottom lane, using his flat cannon to farm. He's at 31 CS right now. And the top farmers are still on the side of Typical Mistakes and will be for at least the foreseeable future. I mean, you've got a free farm Enigma in the jungle. He's got level 6 Soul Ring. His boots are going to be on the way. He'll probably go for a very quick mech. Smash trying to chase after Ryu. There's another blast. That'll do some damage to him as well as clear the creep wave. Looking for the life drain. There's going to be the, of course, Dragon Tail coming in on the side of Sheep, but the Nether Blast, that'll clean up the kill. And Ryu's going to grab that one. Meanwhile, in the top lane, IWO and Misoku looking for Cakes, but not finding it this time. Cakes is in his true form, so he's a little bit more tanky. Now, there's the Reaper Scythe. Cakes taking a lot of damage. Is it going to be enough? The right click just barely not enough. He's at 25 HP and he will survive. But now the mid tower taking damage. The Eidolons are here. Sleazel with double damage as well. Mihawk, he's only level 3. He can't do a whole lot. He can Firefly. The Nether Blast taking chunks out of that tower. And that's only on cooldown for another second. And it's going to go again if he wants it to. Telekinesis. Sleazel going to go ahead and stun Misko. Nether Blast in the trees would get the kill here. But there's a black hole on Mihawk right now. They want Misko. But Mihawk is now going to be the focus here. There's the Malphite coming in. Mihawk's in some trouble. He's going to go down. Enigma picks up that kill. The Wildkin War Chief a little late to the party. And he's going to get canceled and say, screw this, I'm heading back with my Master Chen. And now 3-2. Tier 1 tower taken. And that Nether Blast is deceptively strong.
Yeah, I think they changed it recently. I don't remember Nether Blast doing this much damage, but it does like 160 damage per blast. So, I mean, mathematically, you just have to blast 9 times or 8 times, and a tower will die once you hit level 7. So that's really, really powerful. And that was a really nice rotation by Typical Mistakes. Sleazel was checking the rune, happened to be a double damage, and Enigma just came out of the jungle when the Dragonite was pushing a little too far ahead and secured themselves a kill, and actually secured themselves 2 kills and the tower, and lost nothing in exchange.
And that's a big deal. I mean, not often do you see 7 minutes and 40 seconds, a 3,000 experience lead, and 4,000 gold lead. Typical Mistakes is enjoying that right now, but we do see IWO farming up a little bit, at least up here in the top lane. He's got 37 CS, he's going for Ring of Health, and he's got Power Treads right now. And I'm surprised they gave IWO this lane, especially on a Necrolite. I mean, Necrolite could be a good hero, a good carry as well, but I'm just very surprised they gave him that lane over somebody like the DK. And DK mid is a popular choice nowadays, but to throw Misko down here in the bottom lane, thankfully he's only died once, which kind of boggles my mind, but it's been against a solo gyrocopter for most of the game at this point. But still, Typical Mistakes enjoying a nice lead here, and of course Artyk has to pause. They do generally play with some pretty bad ping. I mean, they're up at 260, 282 for Mihawk right now, so you can see that they do have a little bit of a disadvantage here, just because of course they cannot play on these well, they can play on the USD servers, it's just more work for them, obviously.
Oh, that's really unfortunate for them. I actually never realized their ping was that high, but they do a really good job for having such a disadvantage. I think right now it's really hard to say what they should be doing. Typical Mistakes is putting a lot of pressure on them, and they're really bottled up at their own jungle. Like, they can't. If Typical Mistakes was to push bottom tower right now, I don't think there's anything Artyk can do to stop their push. Ewo just isn't farmed enough yet, and I noticed that he picked up a Ring of Health as well. I don't think I agree with this pickup, because I have this feeling he's gonna pick up something like, I'm gonna say Vanguard from a Ring of Health first pickup.
Interesting. All right, we'll see how that plays out for you.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I can think of is a Bloodstone, but
what about Lincoln's?
I don't think he would pick up a Lincoln's, because what exactly are you looking to block, right? I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
It's just gonna be a Malefice or something that's coming from Vengeful Spirit. So the only other possibility is a Bloodstone. Bloodstone's very possible, but I mean, if you pick up a Bloodstone, I don't think taking the Ring of Health over the point booster is standard. So I'm just gonna go with the Vanguard guess.
All right.
But we'll have to see.
We'll hold you to that. Your points are on the line. These arbitrary points that I've been holding since game number 1. We'll see if you're correct. If so, it'd be very impressive. And Vanguard could help out early on in this game. You don't see it built too often. He's going to go ahead and build his Magic Wand, so no hints just yet from him. But now a Smoke Cake coming out from Typical Mistakes. They're going to keep the pressure on. They're going to spot out these 2 illusions here. They'll know they're illusions. They'll know they're not getting revealed. But Sleazel will go ahead and Magic Missile 1 anyways, because why not? And now they're going to go ahead and find Misoku, who I guess has no idea that this is coming. They're going to see it. Goody looking after this. He might throw his call down just to slow him a little bit. There's the Wave of Terror. There's the Decrepify. That'll slow him down. The Malefice as well. There's the Rocket Barrage. The Nether Blast just hitting, and Misoku just falls instantaneously from Pugna. And Mihawk's here. He doesn't have Lasso yet. He's barely even level 5. In fact, he's not. Smash is coming through as well. He's got that Elder Dragon form. But meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Cakes is just like, I'll take this free tower. And yeah, that's fine. Maybe even a tier 2 if I can grab it. So they will take that tower. And like you said, if they decided to push bottom tower, there's nothing they could do about it. Not only did they push bottom tower, but they pushed top and got a kill out of it. So Artyk in a position where it's very difficult right now for them to gain map control already at 923. They're going to go for pusher. This Nether Blast just takes so much out of that tower. The Fable will push them back for the moment. And Chen is back alive. He can send his creeps there. IWO. He has Reaper Scythe. There's the Crepify, by the way. Nether Blast going to do a lot of damage there. Homing Missile's going to fly in as well. And the Malify is just absolutely stopping him in his tracks. Goody's going to pick up the kill on the tower. Now they can be pretty aggressive here if they want to. Looks like they won't, but on the backside, here comes the, of course, Elder Dragon from Smash. The call down's gonna go. Magic Missile keeping Smash in place. They'll grab that kill. Sleazel will get that one. Now backing out is everybody. Sheep looking for something. He has Black Hole in 15, but not gonna happen. Cakes, meanwhile, taking the tier 2 bottom. The fortification not there. A TP coming in. I don't think Cakes cares. Cakes wants this kill, and he's gonna get it. Now he's gonna back off. And unbelievably, Typical Mistakes gets 2 towers and 2 free kill, 3 towers, excuse me, and 2 free kills on top of that.
Oh man, that was a really painful exchange for. Well, it's not even an exchange. It was just Typical Mistakes taking stuff. There's really, Typical Mistakes is making a really good. They're making really good decisions here. They understand where they are. They realize that Bat is not level 6. They realize that Chen isn't level 6, and in knowing so, they know that there's nothing they can do to retaliate against this aggression they're putting up. And another thing to note is that Necrolite did pick up a headdress, so I was wrong. It's gonna be a pipe.
It's a pipe.
It's gonna be a pipe.
You always forget the pipe because that Ring of Health. It's part of that hood. So
well, the thing about it is that I know. I mean, I know it is a part of the thing, but normally if you're playing as a Necrolite, the Ring of Health is one of your the last items you pick up because of the regen you get from Sadist. So getting like the more mitigating items like Cloak First is more standard in my opinion, but yeah, pipe is a good choice here. I'm just a little worried about his monopool.
Yeah, that would be a concern I think right now. He's trying to push solo down to the bottom lane. That's going to take a while. The tier 2 is the next point of aggression from Typical Mistakes, and well, you were wrong in that that decision there, Aosin. I'm going to have to subtract 50 points from your total right now. So
oh well,
it's too bad.
I was trying to make next level MLG guesses. I mean, Vanguard is something I never see anyone get, but it is still a possibility.
Yeah.
And it is a really old school build where Necrolites did get like a Vanguard mech kind of build, and Shivas and Sheepstick, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Before, this might have been before Pipe came out. I could be wrong, but yeah, this is really old. That was a really old school build.
Well, either way, he's going to get that pipe momentarily. Meanwhile, top lane, Sleazel's going to get lassoed, and he's the one that you don't want to get lassoed, so he cannot swap himself out. Sleazel looking to do some damage to Misoki before it goes down. Call down, now going to go Black Hole. Meanwhile, grabbing on 2, but there's no help coming in from the side of anybody. IWO and Smash, they're still alive. 2 for 2 trade right now. Meanwhile, Goody up here in the top lane trying to go on Mihawk. Here comes on the backside Ryu. He's got enough mana to do some damage here. Mihawk with that haste rune. It's going to run out. Here comes Goody. He's also got 3 stacks on him. Now Goody's just going to TP out right now. No mana for the Flame Break, but the Dragon Tail and the Reaper Scythe. Goody in some trouble. The Death Pulse will grab the kill. And IWO picking that kill up. They're going to have a nice trade there. I think it's 3 for 2 in the end when it comes right down to it. But Cakes is just farming, and he doesn't really particularly care apparently. So
yeah, that was a really good play by Artyk. They found a haste rune for Mihawk, and they really put it to good use. That secured them, I think, 3 kills, and they also wasted, or not wasted, but they made Enigma use his black hole. So I think they have like this.
Oh, Smash is dead.
Oh,
Smash
he's so
is
dead.
very dead. Oh, nope, nice Dragon Slave. He actually might survive this. There's no Malefice for another 1 second. He's trying to juke through the trees. Malefice, and now he's dead. I think probably. Yep, there he goes. And Enigma picks up the kill. So.
Yeah. So I think when DK is back, when DK is back, he'll have his ult, and I think Artyk should be making a push here for at least one of the towers. I think they really need to catch up in towers. Right now they are incredibly far behind in gold, but
Yeah,
their
that's a
team
lot.
fight composition is really strong. Even though they're 10,000 gold behind right now, I think because of their team composition, it's still very possible for them to win team fights at this stage.
And they certainly could. I mean, it's tough. It really comes down to what Misco can steal, I think, and the initiation that they can get off. I think the previous team fight where they had Sheep split up from the rest of the team was probably the best option that they've gotten up until this point. Just a point of note right now, Ryu's going for Scythe of Ice, and he's going to have it done in about 900 gold, or roughly 800 gold. So when you've got that Scythe available, and no one's even close to a BKB, by the way, let alone, I mean, like, there's not even one started on the map. But with that being said, Artyk's going to go ahead and smoke up, and that is a nice idea. And if they can get at least one pick off here, they'll be doing okay for themselves, at least for the time being. They're looking, you see the line that they're drawing, they're heading down in this direction, looking for maybe just anybody, but you could see Cakes is backing off right now. And he's very close to that relic, by the way, which is going to be roughly a 16-minute relic if he doesn't get ganked here. Sleazel's going to go ahead and just Wave of Terror into the Roche Pit. Not going to find anything there. There's still smoke. They're still coming down to the bottom lane. There's no tier 1 there, by the way. Cakes is going to back off, realizing that everyone's missing. And Goody's going to be playing very cautiously up in the top lane, realizing that they're not coming into defending this. They might just go ahead and just try to push this in. Sheep's going to throw up his Eidolons there. It looks like they know exactly where everyone is. Cakes is sitting right underneath this tower. And Ryu's going to go ahead and just try to push into the tier 3, or at least just push out the mid lane right now. So bottom lane, Artyk's going to try to go for a trade here. There's no fort, though there is a fort available for the Dire side. What about the Radiant? There should be one. There's going to be the Dragon Tail on the Bear. Bear's going to get pretty much, well, he's not dead yet, but he could go down. Flame Break's going to push it back, but there goes the tier 2 top, by the way, and tier 2 bottom's taking a lot of damage. There's the fortification. Are there going to be any TPs is the question, and it doesn't look like it. They're going to send Mihawk back home right now. They're also going to TP back to the tier 3. They want to try to fight this, obviously. Fortification is going to go. Chen will take the tier 2 tower, and they wanted to trade and try to get that tier 3. Meanwhile, IWO taking a Malphite in the mid lane. And that's it. So a rather interesting exchange there. Cakes had to back off, but now he's going to get more room to farm. He's got enough for that relic, and it's actually, the courier's flying there, so Radiance is coming very soon.
That was a really nice play by Typical Mistakes. They had really good map awareness. They understood exactly where everyone was and what they needed to do. They knew that Artyk wasn't in a position to contest with the top tower, and they basically made as much... They got as much as they could out of that. They did a lot of damage to the middle tier 3. They took the top tier 2, and they did a fair amount of damage to their tier 3 at the top as well. So that trade, once again, in Typical Mistakes' favor. Things are looking more and more grim for Artyk. They really have. They're trying their best to do something, like anything, but they just can't seem to get a break here. Typical Mistakes is not making many typical mistakes.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that. So
I had to.
Nice job on that. We did it. All right, Sleazel has the Medallion of Courage. And Sheep, well, he was making some Eidolons. He's going to try to make another one. Nope, that's not going to happen. And they were trying to go for that Roche. They don't have Cakes there, and they don't have Goody, which are both their main damage dealers right now. That Scythe is done, by the way, for Ryu. That's a completed up Scythe of Ice at 17 minutes into the game, which you don't see too often. Artyk expecting a Roche and pretty smartly going for it. They realize that, you know, they might be right around there, not knowing where everyone has vision. Meanwhile, Typical Mistakes, they're a little bit spread out. You can see how far behind the lines is Sleazel, and he'll throw a ward down. And meanwhile, Goody's going to get trapped here in the mid lane. He's looking. Now he's going to head back the other way. He's going to pop his drum as well. Doesn't have a BKB or anything like that, but man, Artyk was trying to get him desperately, and they could not get him. So a good change of direction from Goody will save his favor, and that will save his life for the time being. Artyk's going to just continue to push out the mid lane right now. IW is starting to get, you know, to a point where he's getting, I guess, tanky, if you want to call it that. He's got a Pipe of Insight. Bottom tower getting pushed in. They want to defend this now. Maybe now is the time to Roche if you are on the side of Typical Mistakes. Everyone's right around mid. Maybe push out the mid lane, then go for Roshan. They need to get some vision here on the river. They don't have any more wards on Sleazel, at least. And that's Radiant's done for the Bear. And that's going to be a double damage for Goody. And if you're not going to Roche right now, I don't know when you will. But they will, in fact, do so. And it looks like Artyk is... I think they know, or at least think that this is happening. But they have these nice Radiant Observer wards right here, which will counteract any sort of dire aggression. And, I mean, it doesn't matter. This Roche is dead. It's gone. And there it goes. Goody's going to pick up that Aegis, so...
Yeah, they definitely know that they're not in a position to contest this Roshan anyways. And they smoked up. They're trying to get something done, but Sleazel placed some really, really deep wards, really good wards. They see everything
there
that's
they
going
go.
on.
Blink coming in. Swap as well. Call down. Sheep's up on Mihawk right now. A lot of damage going on. Sheep sucks. There's the Reaper Sight. They're going to get the kill. 1-for-1 trade right now. The bear is going. Radiance Burn doing a lot of damage to Misoku. There's the stun. Magic Missile will grab the kill. The pipe only going to do so much against this bear's burn. And there's the Entangle coming in as well. Ryu looking for another blast onto 2. He's going to hit it. There's the Decrepify and Misco. Going to bring him down into the low ground. Ryu just needs another Nether Blast or some more right clicks. He's looking for it. Misco's the last one alive. Misco is going to fall to the Radiance. No, Sleazel will grab it with the Magic Missile. And that's a team wipe from Artyk. And Goody's taking the tier 3 tower as we speak. Now they're going for the Raxes. And Artyk Gaming, this is a tough position for them to be in. They are down 15,000 gold. They're down 10,000 experience. There's an Aegis on Goody. They've got everything going their way for typical mistakes. The levels are there for typical mistakes, not for Artyk. And this is a tough game for them. And there's not a whole lot they can do right now.
Yeah, and during that team fight, they went on the Enigma hoping that they could kill him before he black holes, and they did, but in the end, they still got... that was a 5-for-1 trade, and there's still a black hole up on Enigma. Like, what can you do? It's really, really hard for them to come back at this stage, in my opinion. It's pretty much going to take a miracle, I would have to say.
I would say I'd agree with you there, because they, like you said, they accomplished their main mission of killing that Enigma, so there's no black hole. But, you know, there's a lot of damage coming in from pretty much every other hero besides him. I mean, even Sleazel with the Magic Missile does a lot of damage because these are low-level heroes. I mean, level 8 for 3 heroes right now. And so they're still rather squishy. You've got a Radiance Burn doing quite a bit of damage, and the Entangle on top of that. You've got Gyrocopter not even being there in the fight, and then you've got Pugna with another blast, which we saw obliterate some heroes. So, you know, and the Black Hole is also still available. He's got his Blink too, and that might have been a pretty good initiation from Artyk, but Sleazel had a really quick swap. I forget who it was, but he swapped somebody immediately. And, like, yeah. I think that might have been the saving grace for them in that fight. Obviously, I don't know who he swapped. I would really like to know, but I guess we'll find out in the replay. And Goody's looking for a solo kill on IWO. He's going to Homing Missile. Mithril Hammer is getting used for Necrolite. He's will just in time. That Homing Missile will change direction and fly all the way back to base, but it doesn't really matter at this point. They're going to have to stop the push in from the Mega Creeps right now. Typical mistakes. I don't know really how much they need to wait. They still have that Aegis for Goody for another good 3 minutes here. You know, even 3.5. Cakes is regenning, and his bear has that Radiance. His bear, on top of that, has a Hyperstone. So his bear is very farmed. So I guess maybe just wait for another item and then go. But at that point, maybe you're waiting too long.
Yeah, I think all they're doing is keeping the lanes pushed, keeping the pressure on them, and then just timing it so that this Aegis will be used within the next minute and a half, I would say. And yeah, I mean, I don't think they're waiting for. Goody's about 1,200 away from finishing his MPB. They could be waiting for that.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
Other than that, I don't see any big major items coming up anytime soon. So, yeah, I think they're just going to be taking the top racks here.
Yep, they're going to try to go for it right now. And you can see Artyk, they're down in the bottom lane just trying to take care of this bear, who cannot be resummoned. Now it can, and it will probably be brought up to the top lane. There it goes, and here comes the push. As the bear is going to sit in the jungle for a moment. But yeah, the push is coming in. They do have the Pipe of Insight coming out from IWO, but it's not there yet. He can use it when needed, but this tier 3 already taking damage. There is Fortification. Another ward is on the ground, so that's going to deal some nice nuke damage. Fortification's going to go. The Dragon Slave, nice swap going into Smash. The Magic Missile, Smash in trouble. The Nether Blast going as well. The call down on Misco. Hand of God's going to fly. Smash getting life drain, and the kill coming in from Goody. There's the Black Hole. Only hitting on 2, but enough. Misco's in some trouble. Double kill for Goody. Mihawk taking a lot of damage. He's trying to Firefly away. Triple kill for Goody, and the bear will finish off IWO. Nope, Pugna's going to pick that one up. Our team wipe coming out. GG is called, ladies and gentlemen. And typical mistakes, they take 2 tonight. And Artyk dropping this one.
Well, that was really nice play from Typical Mistakes. They knew that the only way Artyk can come back is if Rubik was to steal Black Hole. And I'm a Sheep Sucks was super patient. He just stood at the back and he just kept standing there waiting and waiting to see a good chance where he could catch the Rubik, and he didn't do that. And there was nothing they could do.
Nothing they could do indeed, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it for us tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. I believe we start at 3:30 Eastern tomorrow. Big shout out to the American Dota admins and mods as well in chat. Very good games tonight. I apologize for the earlier mic issues. We have figured that out, and hopefully from now on my mic should be, I guess, fixed. Knock on wood. So there's always that. But this game's over, and there are no more games tonight. So thank you very much for joining us. If you'd like to follow us, make sure you pick up the American Dota League ticket in the Dota TV store. Check out American Dota on Twitter, which is twitter.com/AmericanDota. And, of course, the Twitch channel is American Dota League. For myself, if you enjoyed my casting, if you didn't, please give me any critiques in chat. My name is Mont. You can follow me at twitter.com/MontDota2, and the same for Twitch, which is twitch.tv/MontDota2. Joining me tonight was none other than Aosin. Aosin, any shout-outs, and where can they find you before we head out of here?
You can find me at twitter.com/EosindDota. Shout out to Lumi again, and shout out to Dota 2 Generals.
And that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. We'll see you all later. Have a good one.